but they not deduct any amount from our record. Initially, they will deduct 2 rupees for the verification purpose. Can you type with the ICICI which bank you are using?
Sir?
Which card, which bank card you are using?
SBI, sir. SBI.
Can you try with any of your friends' card with the ICICI bank?
I have debit card with myself.
That's what I'm talking. If you have the ICICI bank debit card, you can try with that.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Yeah.
sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Any other questions from anyone?
వస్తుంది కదా.
Okay. I hope no questions from anyone. Even I didn't get any responses in the chat also. That's fine. Absolutely. Now we'll start discussing about the what is meant by version control and why we require the version control, how we are trying to write a source code, that everything we'll discussing about right now. So can anyone tell me what is the role of the software developer? What exactly they're gonna do that? Yeah, my question is, what is mean by what is the roles and responsibility of a software developer? That's what I'm just trying to asking here.
Sir?
Yes.
Hello. Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes, Joshna.
Sir, in the process of creating a freer account, sir,
Sorry.
I came across there are no instances in my region, sir. Even though I'm launching instances, I cannot get any instances here.
Did you log into the laptop?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Desktop only.
Can you share your screen? If you can share your screen, I can help you out. Are you doing that?
I'm logging class from.
Why?
I'm listening this class from phone, sir, and I am doing the process in laptop.
Log in with the laptop and share your screen. I can just check out what is your problem. I can able to help you out. How to resolve the problem.
Sometimes.
Yeah. You can share your screen by end of the session. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now let's start discussing about the what is meant by version control system. It is. We'll try to discussing about what is meant by the version control the system. Can anyone tell me what is the role of the software developer? What is the role of the software developer? What basically he can do that? Come on, guys. It's a very low. I think everyone aware about it. This question, right? There is nothing new. What is the role of the software development team?
They
What you are going to
design,
do?
program, and build the different skills and tools.
Sorry, can you come again?
Software developers will design, program, and build and deploy different skills and tools to build the software systems.
Who is going to build a software system?
Software developers.
Are you sure? Okay, that's fine. No problem. Yes. Next. Any other answers from anyone? Yes, I see some responses in the chat box. Understand the requirements and the client designing, testing, coding, etc. You got the code from the, you got answer from where? You got answer from the internet, okay? Developer deploy maintenance application. See, nobody will develop the application, nobody will maintenance when nobody will can deploy the applications. If we go to software development team. Yes, next. Yeah, any other responses from anyone? Yeah. Let me explain about what is the role of the software development team. Actually, what we can do that. See, whenever you're trying to understanding about the any requirement, the first step, we have the requirements gathering. In the beginning of the sessions we have discussed, right? We got the requirements from the client. We got the requirements from the client. Now, once we got the requirements from the client, once you understood about it, then we have to go with the design. Then we have to come to the thing called as a development process it is. See, developers who are the software development team, the software development team is basically trying to understanding about what the requirements has shared with the client. And for that, we have a software designing team, which we can call it as a UI and UX, right? UI stands for user interface, UX stands for the user experience. So we have the software design team where basically they're trying to understand the requirement and they're trying to design the a prototype of the application, like how is my homepage looks like, how is my login page looks like. They're trying to understanding about everything. See, once we have the requirements gathering team, once we have design, we have to whatever the assumptions which we have created, that assumptions we have to bring into the actual reality. See, for example, you are walking on the road. If you look at the biryani, you think that it is very tasty, right? But if you start making the process of the biryani, then you understand about what is the depth and how much struggle you have to face when you're trying to prepare the biryani it is. Like, what are the different kind of items which you want to purchase from the market and what is the process which you have to follow while preparing the biryani. The same thing when you start discussing about designing. If we look at this picture, it is not about enough, right? We have to bring it to the actual, we have to bring it is how we are trying to bring into the reality it is. Now, whenever you want to bring it to reality, we have to go something. It is called as the software development team. See, software development team is very, very important for us because they are the pillars of the software, because they are going to write the coding using different programming languages. If my client is requesting for us to do it in Java, my client is for us to requesting like in a JavaScript or Python, HTML, CSS, or Go languages or C Sharp. So whatever the client is requesting for us to implement that, we have to use such kind of programming languages. If my client is asking me to do the use front end Spring Boot, Hibernate, or HTML, CSS backend use MySQL or PHP. So whatever my client is requesting here, the based on that. Yeah. So whenever you try to understanding about the what exactly we have to understand. See, whenever you try to understanding about the software development team, the software development team actually they're trying to write the source code. See how we can write the source code here. My voice is low. I think my voice is perfect, absolutely right. Could you please confirm someone? Is my voice is audible to everyone? Is it loud and clear? Okay, I got some responses. It's very audible. You can check from your side. There is some issue from your side. Okay, that's fine. So now if you just open any website, for example, I'm just going to open the icicibank.com here. So whenever I just open the icicibank.com here, if I just go to here, yeah, if I just go to here, if I try to mention about the inspect here, if I try to mention about the inspect, if you just look at my screen, this is nothing but the everything what we can say that like we have to understanding about what exactly the source code everything. So every software development team they're trying to understanding about how the source code they're going to write it is. See now we have the console, and also if we just go to elements we can look at here all the CSS code what it is going to show that. See now, this is a kind of the source code which we have to write whenever you just go to here and whenever you're trying to see about any inspect here. See, inspect is going to tell you that what kind of source code they have written, how they have implemented this particular source code, that we can able to see everything over here. Now, my question is nothing but what exactly mean by version control here? What is the relation between the version control and this particular software development team or testing team? See, if you just go to any organization, there are majorly the pillars of the software is nothing but we have the software development team. We have the software development team. After that, if you just go to here, we have the software testing team we'll be having, and we have a DevOps team it is. So DevOps engineer is majorly going to taking care of the deployments. They're going to taking care of the deployments. Now, whenever you look at the software development team, the software development team is majorly responsible for the how they are trying to develop the application. Software testing, they're basically they're going to test the application. Like they'll check that whether we are going to meeting the client requirements or not. If there is any kind of bugs, they're trying to identify what as software development team has done that. And here we can see that DevOps engineers basically they'll write the automation scripts to deploy the application inside the servers. This is basically what is the responsibilities of the software development team, software testing team, or DevOps engineer team. Now everybody will write some code. Software development team write the source code, software testing team write the test cases, DevOps engineers are going to write the scripting here. But the problem it is nothing but see, for example, you take some example, okay? Now we have a Ram and let's for example, Ram and Rahul both are working on a software development team, but they have some personal grudges. Whatever the Ram will do, Rahul will not accept. Whatever Rahul will do, Ram will not accept. Now, for example, Ram has implemented some source code. Index.html he has implemented. Now, the Ram has sent this file to the, he's going to share the source code inside my share folder. But when the ROM is not there in, I mean, say ROM, it is not came to office. In that time, what we have done, Rahul has made some changes in the code. When the Rahul made some changes in the code, now it is not working fine. But when the ROM has implemented the all the code, that time it's working fine. So now the problem, it is nothing but how can we identify that who made the changes, what changes they did, everything we have to understand. So whenever you want to track the changes, if someone is made inside the source code, that is the reason we have to go something, it is called as a what we can say, we have to understanding about what is meant by source code. I would say version control system. Version control system, it is all about to track the changes whenever someone make any changes in the source code, or we, in other words, what we can do, someone is going to make changes in the code, we have to understanding about how we can able to track the changes in the code, or if someone is going to implement any new features, when you want to identify that what features they implemented, how source code they have written, if you want to track everything, we have to go something, it is called as the software development team. It is the software development team, whatever they are going to do that, whenever you make some changes, if you want to identify that who made the changes, definitely we have to go to something, it is called as the version, the control, the system to manage the different versions of the source code, to take the backup of the code and to maintain the state of the code, we have to go something, it is called as a version, the control system. So try to understand about definition here. After that, I'll show you how practically we have to understand about the what is meant by version control system it is. Look at here, what exactly meant by the version control system it is. Why do you are going to use version control, also known as a source control? It is a practice of the tracking, managing the changes in the software code. Whenever someone is going to make a change, it's not only about the software code. If someone is going to make the changes in the, let's for example, documentations, if you want to track the changes in the documentation also, we have to go to something, it is called as a what is meant by version control system. So here, we just need to understand about what exactly mean by, see, version control system is also known as the source control, is a practice of the tracking, managing changes inside your source code. So whenever someone is make the changes, we have to understanding about what changes they made, how the changes made, we have to understanding about it. That's what we have to understanding about what is meant by version, the control, the system which we have to understand. Now here we can see version control systems are the software tools that help the software teams to manage the changes the source code it is. That's what basically we have to understanding about the what is meant by software development team which they are going to do that. Now, if you look at my screen, the software tools that help the software teams to manage the changes in the source code over the time. See, if someone is make the changes in the code, we have to understand about what changes they made and how the changes they made, that we have to understand here. Now, if you look at my screen, how we are trying to implement, what you are trying to implement, that we'll discussing about right now. So now here, if I just look at my screen, how we are trying to implement that, how we are trying to go to that particular optionality. Now here, I'll just try to mention about the version control image. So look at this image, what I mentioned about it. Basically, it is going to help you to manage the different kind of the versions which is available inside the source code. Now try to understand about what are the benefits which you are trying to get whenever you are trying to understanding about the version control system. The first one, you are going to get the streamline, merging and branchings. The second one, we can able to examine the experiment with the code. That means we can track that what changes they made in the code. The third option is nothing but we can see that we can discover the ability of the operate the offline. That is what we have to understand about the like a third benefit. The fourth benefit is nothing but create regular automated backups. That means every day, whenever you have written some source code, we can take the backup of the code. That what we have to understanding about the create regular and automate the backups. Now, fifth one, we have to understand about the communicate through the open channelities. That's what that is the benefits you're going to get whenever you're trying to understanding about the version control. It is going to streamline merging and branching. The second option, examine and experiment with the code. Third one, we can discover ability to operate the offline. And the fourth one, we can see that the create regular automated backups, and we can see that there is a communication through the open channel it is. These are the benefits you're going to get whenever you're discussing about what is meant by source code control. What is the benefits you're going to get it here? See, it is one of the very, very important tool in the software industry, guys. Every software organizations, they must use something. It is called as a software development tool. It is. See, why do you want to? Say we have the understanding about why do you want to create and how do you want to create, that we're discussing about right now. See, now we just need to understanding about how we can do that, or we just need to understanding about how we are trying to implement this particular benefits of the version control system it is. So we have to understanding about how we can able to communicate with the open channels. So now we'll see practically how we are trying to install the version control system, how we are trying to implement the version control system. That's now we'll discussing about right now. So very important the option. Let's see how to install that. See, whenever you try to understanding about what is my version control system, the first option, it is about the Git. See, Git is one of the tool which is basically going to help you that, and we can see that it is going to help you that how we are trying to understanding about this particular install the Git. See, Git is a version control tool, one of the most advanced tool in the market. One of the most advanced tool in the market, which is basically going to help you that yeah. So it is one of the tool basically which is going to help you to the understanding about how it is going to working with this particular the version control system it is. Now try to understanding about what and how we are trying to implement this particular version control system it is. Now we can see that version control is software, the engineering or practices of the controlling the computer files, versions of the files, primarily the source code text files, but generally any type of the file it is. Now let's see practically how we are trying to implement this one. First, what we have to do, we have to install the Git. Now I'm trying to install the Git here, first one. So I'm trying to first uninstall Git in my laptop. Go to here. Try to uninstall Git in my machine. It is. Let's go to go to apps and here install apps. Now here we have to mention about the Git right now. So here I just wanted to go here. Let me go to uninstall this one. I'm trying to uninstalling this particular Git first. So I'll show you practically how we are trying to install, how we are trying to make the communication that we're discussing about right now. So first option, I have to go to the click on yes here. Click on yes. Yeah, first one, we have to click on OK. Now we have to go to the C drive, and here we have to remove that folder first. I'll tell you that how we can do that from the beginning. Go to program files here. We have to remove this Git now. Click on the continue. Now here what we can do that, we have to install the Git here first. Let me go to the Git now. Try to download the Git download from the Windows. The first we have to go to the official website right now. This is the official website. It is. Go to the first link, okay? If we go to the first link, now here what we can do that, we have to go to the first link and we have to click on the Windows. Hello. We have to select the here Windows. See, once you select the Windows, then we have to go to the 64-bit Windows setup right now. There is some background noise. Why you guys are unmuting yourself and talking? Venkat. Yeah. So now we have to download this particular Git here. Once you got downloaded, right now, we have to install the Git in my laptop. In my system, the first we'll see about the what is the steps which we have to follow it right now. The first one, we have to click on yes here. We have to click on yes. Then we have to click on next here. And then we can do that. We just need to go to the click on next here. Now we have to first one, there is something it is called as a, whether we have to go with the git bash or we have to go to this, this is like, what exactly we have to do that. Click on next here. Again, we have to click on next here. See, by default, later, Git, we can able to use Visual Studio Code. We can use Eclipse IDE. Look at my screen. It is asking whether we can go with the Notepad++ or we can go with the Git, like, default editor, or we can just look at text editors. We can just go to here. Now click on the next now. Here we have to go something. It is called as a, what is a branch? Because whenever you try to understanding about the Git here, whenever you want to store any code in the GitHub repository or in my local system, Git is always going to be nothing but distributed version control system. In distributed version control system, we have something it is called local repository, where we have the where we can just look at my screen that where we can able to see that my local repository. See, whenever you want to working with the Git, we don't require the internet connection. That means we can able to install Git in my local machine and we can track the changes. And without internet connection, I can able to maintain different versions it is. Now click on next here and we can see that we have to go with the command line from the third party software it is. Since the first one, we can see that there is something it is called as a command line. That means whenever you want to integrate with the Visual Studio Code or Eclipse IDE or any of the tools like PyCharm and all, definitely we need something it is called as a, we have to enable this option. That is nothing but we have to go with the Git from the command line and also it is called as a third party software it is. Now we can see that we have to click on next now. We have to select open, use bundle OpenSH or click on next now. We have to go with the, like, choose the path. Now click on next here. We have to understanding about what exactly and how we are trying to implement the Git. See, I'm just trying to install the Git in my local machine first of all. Okay. I'm trying to installing it. It just take a few seconds of time. Yes, now we can see that I'm trying to install the Git right now. We can just click on the click on finish here. When I click on the finish, you look at my screen, the Git is got downloaded in my local machine. It is that's fine. Next, what we can do that. Now, next step, we have to understand about the how to work with the Git. Now, I'll tell you that how we are trying to implement this source code by using a chat GPT that we're discussing about right now. So first option, we have to go here. Let me explain that how we are trying to install. We can say that how we are trying to install. We can just go to the chat GPT. First one, I'll let you show you that how we are trying to create the one simple website. Okay. The first one, go to the, for example, if we create one folder first, let me go to the, once you install, go to the command prompt and check whether which version we install the Git. If we go with the command prompt, if we type the command called git --- version, you will look at my screen. It is being installed to 2.45.2 version. Now, next step, I have to create one folder where I want to store my source code. I have to go to now, click on the this PC. After that, we have to go to the D drive. And here what we can do that, I'm just going to create one project folder because you are trying to store all the code inside your project, right? Click on this right click now. And here I'm just going to create one folder it is. Click on the new, click on the folder. The folder name is nothing but let's say, for example, DevOps hyphen, or else let's, for example, DevOps hyphen exe xlr. Yeah. So let me go with now. I'm just going to mention about exe xlr. Now here, this is the repository I'm just trying to creating. Or else let me go to the, I'll try to rename it as I'm just trying to mention about the project right now. Here I'll mention about the project here. Project. Now here, the first load this folder inside the Visual Studio Code. Go to the file, click on the open folder. I have to go to tree drive. And here we have to go to the option name. It is called as a, I'm just go to here. After this, what can do that? I have to go to the DevOps Excel project right now. Click on the select folder it is. See, I'm just trying to opening my repository. Right now, we don't have anything inside the repository. The first, what we can do that, we have to go to the source control. Here we have to go to source control, click on the initialize repository. See, whenever you're trying to initialize the repository, this repository is going to divide into the 3 categories. This is what we can call as a Git stages. Try to understand. The moment when you type the command called git init command, or when you type the command called git init, or you are going to initialize this repository is going to divide into the 3 categories. 3 categories. One is a workspace. One is nothing but indexing or staging area. Other one is nothing but my local repository. This is nothing but my workspace. And here, after this, what we can say, this is nothing but indexing or a staging area. And after that, we can say nothing but we will be having something it is called as a local repository. Guys, Kavya, who is this Kavya? So whenever, if you don't have any questions, you don't unmute yourself. It is going to be disturb others as well. So now if you type the command called git init command, it is going to initialize your repository. The first is going to create a workspace, indexing or staging area. Then we have to go with the local repository. See, what are the software development team will be having? The software development team is going to write the software development team. The software development team is going to write code, write a source code inside the workspace. Inside the workspace. This is what we have to understand about the workspace. Now, after that, what we can do that, we have to send the code from workspace to indexing or staging area. So this is nothing but how we are trying to make sure that you are trying to track the source code. See, workspace is nothing but the where you are trying to store your code. See now, whenever you're trying to understanding about the workspace, the software development team will write a code here. Now I'm just going to write some code. Basically, I'll explain about how to generate prompt here. Go to the chat GPT, okay? Then go to the chat GPT. Now here I'm just going to get a code from the chat GPT. We have to provide the prompt. See, prompt engineering is all about how we are trying to talk to your chat GPT, or how we are trying to talk to the AI tools. In understanding about the AI tools, that's what we can call it as a prompt engineering. Now here, I have to mention about the some prompt here. What is the prompt which you want to mention? Let's, for example, I would like to design a college website. College website. Website. Here we have to mention the generated. We can see that generated home page of the website. Home page of the website, which includes the mentioned tabs it is. Mentioned tabs. The first one, it is a home tab. The second one is nothing but about us tab. And the third one is nothing but courses tab. And third one is nothing but the like a placement. And the fifth one is nothing but a contact us. Okay, contact us tab. So using which programming language? Let's, for example, I mentioned about HTML, CSS. It is going to understand about the prompt what I mentioned. It is going to provide the code over there. We can see it is generating a code. Look at my screen. I have just done this part. We have the code right now. One is HTML, one is a CSS here. So let me copy that code here. Let me go to my source control here. I have to click on the file. Create a file. The file name is index.html page. Now copy the source code from here to there to here. Let's copy that. Click on the save it is. Now I have to create one subdirectory. The subdirectory name it is called a CSS here. Inside that, I'm just trying to storing all my CSS files it is. Come down here. We can just come down. We can see that we have CSS file. The file name it is nothing but style.css. Okay. Let me create the file inside this file. Styl is style.css. Okay. Now here, paste the code here. Control save. Now let me run the file and show you that what is the output which we're going to get it right now. Click on the index page. See, it is not applicable because I had to make some changes here. Let me go to the code and here we have to make some changes. Let me go to here. Here I'll just mention about the CSS. Inside that we have style.css file. Now click on save. Now if you go to your web page, click on the refresh, you'll get your see it is creating a college website, which let's, for example, it is telling about the, I'll go to this now, the college name. Okay, the college name I'll mention about the MBU University. Okay, it has got changed to the Niketan to MBU University. So I'm just trying to mention about the, click on the refresh now, see it has got changed to the MBU University. Now here, this is a code which I have written by myself. Now here, whenever you want to write in the source code, if we make any changes, the Git doesn't know anything about the changes. Now here, we have to understanding about how we can track the changes. The first option where the code is available, here is the code is available in the workspace. Whenever you make any changes in the workspace, the Git doesn't know anything about the changes. If you want to track the changes, we have to send the file to indexing or the staging area. Now, how we can able to make the changes right now? So now here, type the command called git add space dot. We can see that it has got changed file to indexing or staging area. If we type the command called git status now, you look at my screen, it has got tracked files. So whenever you going to add the file to indexing or staging area, then only my Git can able to track the changes what I have did it is. That's what we have to understanding about how we are trying to make the changes, what the changes we have to do that. Now what we can do that, I want to save the code first of all in my local machine. So how we are trying to save the code into a local machine here. Now whenever I want to save the code, the first type the command called git the commit -m. Here I'm just going to mention about the committed here. Now here, once we hit the enter, we can see that there are two files got changed. There are 130 lines of code which I have committed. Look at here, there is the one commit ID. See, whenever you're trying to send a code from indexing or staging area to the local repository, it is going to save the code into my local machine right now. That means nobody can able to access my code. whenever I want to share the code with my colleagues or any of the client, definitely we require something it is called as a code repositories. See, code repositories are nothing but where you are going to store the code in the cloud platform. So whenever you want to store the code in the cloud platform, that I can able to access 24/7. That means everyone can able to access the code from anywhere 24/7. That is what we can call it as a code platform. Now here, whenever you're trying to store the code is always storing inside my branches. See, branch is nothing but where we can able to store all the code inside the repository. We never store any code inside the master branch inside the repository. We're going to store all the code inside the branches only. Now we can see that there is a branch. The branch name, it is nothing but I have the something it is called as a master branch or where we can able to store my code. See, when you want to see the branch, type the command called git branch now. See, it is going to create the main branch. See, master, main, both are same. It is a main branch. Now, what we can do that, what are the code which is available inside the main branch? This code I'm trying to deploy inside the server it is. That's what we have to understand. Now, whenever you're trying to commit the code, for every change, it is going to generate the one commit ID. Whenever someone is going to make the changes, we can either track that what is the commit ID, what is the commit message. See, this commit ID length, it is nothing but 40 alpha numerical characters. 40 alpha numerical characters. So now if we just go to here, when you, one second, let me close this my server it is. Okay. Now, if we type the command called git, type the command called git log, you look at my screen. There is a commit ID. The length of the commit ID is nothing but 40 alpha numerical characters. That name of my branch, it is called as the main branch. Head is always pointing to the recent commit ID. You see that who is the author of the code? The author of the code is Murli Mohan. Look at here, Wednesday 12, it is something but track the changes. What is meant by commit message? It is the commit message which we have mentioned about it is got as a committed here. This is what exactly we have to understanding about the how we are trying to commit the changes. Now we have to mention about who is the author. The author is Murali Mohan. What is the date and what is meant by committed here? The committed means the code is got saved inside my local repository. So anyone have any questions here so far? Are you guys clear?
Yes, sir.
Could you please confirm in the chat, everyone? Yeah, I got some couple of responses in the chat. Okay. Now what we can do that now, I wanted to mention about the how we are trying to understanding about this. Now let's for example, I'm going to make some changes. For example, here I'm going to mention about the about us.html page. See, I'm just going to make some changes in the code. Let's click on the save it is right now. See, whenever you make the changes, you see it is showing about M stands for the modified. If you want to say status of the file, type the command called git status right now. If you look at my screen, it's showing about the modified. See, whenever you make small change, nothing but dot or comma, whatever you make the changes, definitely it is going to track by the git it is. That's what we have to understand it right now. So it is all about how we are trying to make the changes. Now type the command code whenever you make any changes in the code or whenever you are trying to add the code, definitely we have to type the command called git add. After that, we have to mention dot right now and type the command called git commit -m. Let's say here we have to mention about the committed here. Now hit the enter. We can see there is a one file got changed, one insertions, one deletions it is. Now here, whenever you want to see that who made the changes, what made the changes, if you type the command called git log, I can see that there are two commit IDs right now. This is nothing but my recent commit ID. See how I can able to say that I told you that head is always pointing towards the head is always pointing towards my branch. The branch it is called as a main branch it is. Now here we have to understanding about what is mean by main branch. What exactly mean by how we are trying to do this option it is. Now here we have to understanding about there is a branch. The branch name it is called main branch. So whenever you type the command called git show command, and here if you type the command called commit ID, say I'm just trying to copy that the first 7 letters of the commit ID. And if you mention about the right click, now once I hit the enter, you look at my screen. See, Git never going to copy that whole, I may say whole copy of the code. It is basically take the snapshot of the what changes you made in the code. If I just come down here, you see that there is a one line we have deleted. There is a one line of code which we had added here. That's how we are trying to understanding about how the Git is going to track the changes. Now here, if I just go right now, you will see who made the changes. The changes made by the Murli Mohan. This is the email address. What is I mean to say when he have made the changes that I can able to see over here. So this is how we can able to track the changes of the source code right now. So now what we can do that we just need to understanding about how we are trying to make the changes in this particular the source code. So now look at the date it is. The date which we can able to see that the what is the date and what is author, who is author, that everything we can able to see that. Now the code, whatever it is there, it is available inside my local machine. But now we have to understand about how we can able to share the code to my client. Where is my client is available? The client is available. The client is available inside my, I would say, the client is available in a USA, or he is in New Zealand, or is somewhere. We have to understand about how we are trying to share the code with your your client. See, for this we have to create the one GitHub account. So how do you going to create a GitHub account right now? If you just go to your website, the website name it is called as a github.com here. See, whenever you go to github.com, here we can see there is something it is called, click on the sign up here. If those who don't have the account, please try to create the GitHub account. See, I'm trying to create, I'm just trying to mention about the Clehan Technologies 24@gmail.com it is. Now just type the command called, click on the continue here. And we can see that there is something it is called as a password. That means we have to mention about what is the password of your GitHub account. Let me go to here. I'm trying to mention about the password. Now click on the continue here. After that, we have to provide the username. We have to provide the username. See, the username could be anything. Okay, that's fine. We don't require to mention about like rules and regulations. You can provide whatever it may be. I'll mention about the Murali Social 123 @gmail.com. Sorry, Murali Social 123 is not available. Let's say go to 124. Now click on the continue. It is going to ask you about the email preferences. Click on the continue here. Now it is going to tell you that how we are trying to create the GitHub account. See, once it is created a GitHub account, right now we have to understanding about the we have to understand about how we are trying to push the code. Okay. If we just go to your version control, there is something it is called as a source control, right? We can see there is something it is called a publish a branch. When you see there is two kind of branches we are having. One is a private, one is a public branches. See, public is all about the where you are trying to store all your code in the public repository. See, public means anyone can able to access my code from anywhere. But private means it is able to access only within my organizations. But public means anyone can able to access. Now click on the public repository here. See, I'm trying to pushing all my code into the GitHub repository. That's what I'm doing right now. See now where we can able to see that if you click on the open GitHub repository, you see that this is my GitHub repository where I can able to see my code. If you want, you guys can test it. I'm going to share the URL in the chat. Check whether you guys are able to access or not it is. Hit the enter. Check whether you guys are able to access or not. This is the accessibility, everyone. That means anyone from anywhere can able to access with the public repository. If it is a private repository, only within my organization can able to access it. That's what we have to understand about what is a public and private repositories. Okay. So this is a brief introduction about the what is my version control and what is meant by Git and GitHub it is. Okay. So I hope you guys are able to understood right now. Anyone have any questions we can ask? I can able to answer your questions. Anyone have any questions? You guys can able to ask so that I can able to answer your questions. Guys, if you need more concepts, or if you want to learn about the cloud computing, you want to learn about anything, you can go with this and you'll find out the videos. Okay. Yes. If you go with this channel, you'll able to find out the many more videos. You can able to watch it. Is if you are really interested, learn about the DevOps roadmaps, everything. It is going to helpful very much. Yeah. This is all about the version control on Git and GitHub. So I hope in the day one we discussed about what is DevOps and why DevOps is required. And day two we discussed about the what is DevOps lifecycle. And day three we discussed about what is cloud computing, why require cloud computing. And day four we discussed about how we can able to create instances, how we can deploy the application, how we are able to access the application throughout the world. That examples we have seen. And after that, day 5 today, we discussed about the what is meant by cloud computing. Sorry, what is meant by, let's say, what is my version control, what is Git and what is GitHub, how we are going to write a code, how we make the changes, how to push the code. That is everything we discussed about in today's session, right? So far, if you have any questions, you can ask because today is the final day. If you have any questions, you can ask, you can clarify regarding your career or regarding if I have any questions about the campus placements, how we can able to, or which technology we have to choose regarding your career, you can ask. I can able to clarify your questions. I will give 2 minutes of 2 to 3 minutes of time, or 5 minutes also fine. You guys can able to ask. Yes, Joshna, you can share your screen. I'm stopping my screen share. That's what, ma'am. You have to learn about the. If you need complete roadmap, if you need complete roadmap,
Sir,
you can go.
disable the screen sharing.
Joshna,
Sorry?
you have an access to share your screen. You can share.
Yes. And
Okay.
someone is asking about how does one become a DevOps engineer? Mean what are the tools they need to master it? First, you have to learn about Git and GitHub. Then you have to learn about the code quality tool called SonarQube. Then you have to learn about the Docker Kubernetes. Then you have to learn about the automation tool called Jenkins. For the monitoring purpose, we have to learn about the Prometheus Grafana. And you have to learn about the Terraform for infrastructure automation. Then you have to learn about the Ansible. These are the tools which we have to learn about along with the Python scripting. Yes, your screen is visible now. Now, steps. Tell me what is the problem you are facing. Click on the launch instance. Click. Then you have to proceed with the name. You have to choose which OS you require. You have to choose how many CPUs and we required, how many CPUs, how much RAM we required, and we have to go to the key pair, which key pair we required. Then you have to select how much storage we required. Then you have to click on the launch instance. It is going to be launched. You provide the name fast, make it fast. Go to the first option. The name, for example, Linux server or demo server. Mention whatever you require. Not there. You have to go to the first. Top. Provide the name.
సార్ అది పుట్టిలో పబ్లిక్ కి ఎలా ఇవ్వాలి సార్?
In Putty, we have to provide the private key, not public key. If we go to SSH here, if you click on plus button, it's going to expand. Under SSH, there is something, it is called as a authentication. If you click on authentication, it is there is option called upload the key pair. You have to click on the browse, we have to select the file, then we have to go on it is. You guys really wanted to, yes, learn. You please go through my YouTube channel. There are some couple of videos which I uploaded already, and also there are some series which I'm just going to launch from the next I would say from the next week. You guys can able to get it over there. Click on the launch instance. You are fine right now.
Yes.
Click on that. Go up once. Slowly go up. I think there is a network issue from your side.
Successfully done.
Okay, okay. That's fine, no problem. Yeah, you can stop your screen share.
Sir, we'll wind up for the day.
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable time. Thank you, students. All the best for your studies. Study well, okay?
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. All the best.